on YouTube, or excuse me, on Twitter, who wanted to be added to the contest. So we've gone ahead and added you guys to the list. So whether you watch this on through Twitter, and I'll probably bang out this video just so you the Twitter folks have this as well, or whether you go right on the page. And I noticed 400 views just of yesterday's video. There's like 64 comments now. And you can just put your name down right here, and you can be added to the contest. And we'll have the official draw on Sunday through our broiler chicken show there. And good luck to everybody. And actually, it was interesting. There was somebody who said the other day, I don't need to take the school because I learn everything that he teaches through these little video summaries. And please understand, no, I don't. I only really just scratch the surface with these quick summary videos, and even things like broiler chickens, we go very quickly. For those people that are real self-learners, I suppose you could go through and pick apart things that are learning modules, and you can build out, but it's nothing in comparison to the school. The school is extremely detailed. It's 12 modules, just for the level 1 program alone, that are all individual learning modules. They all cover different topics, from getting set up and started, building trading plans, building your journals, building your spreadsheets, how to track trades, how to track your behavior, to really finite fundamental analysis. What is value? How do you do fundamental analysis across different asset classes? What are some key considerations? Different fundamental models that I've used in the stock market. To models that have been built by various different site members and alumni to figure out value within the crypto space. Of course, finally, a serious introduction to technical analysis and understanding the idea of unrelated reasons, how location and indicator confirmation and market structure are very, very different concepts. How you put all three together to create setups, and then ultimately how do I actually appropriately track and log whether I'm actually even doing what I said I was doing in the market. I was going to do in the market with setups. So for those people that are kind of like, well, I can learn everything I need to learn in the level 1 course just watching these videos. It's not. All I do is just scratch the surface and give you overviews. And remember, everybody watching this YouTube video, the last thing in the world I want is robots. I don't want, everybody wants to have hundreds of thousands of followers and all that kind of crap, right? But I don't do that. I'm not going to tell you what to buy. Remember, and any SEC, monitors or anything, we don't give financial advice at TRI. I have my own portfolios, and I have portfolios for TRI that I manage. And if I decide to put my money to work into something, I'll tell you about it. But it's my trade. It's not your trade. And I don't want anybody on the YouTube page or in Twitter or anything like that just blindly following what Brian does, because Brian makes lots of mistakes. He's still a student of the market. And even with my setups that I like to use, I'm not right 100% of the time. In fact, I build my plan expecting I'm going to be wrong a good 30-40% of the time. That's a big number. So the key here is, at TRI we do not teach. In fact, the best way to think about this is, when you're watching these videos, it's kind of like you're watching me fishing. And you're kind of saying, well, Brian, why don't you just fish for me? And I'm going to look right you in the face. And I'm going to say, I'm not going to fish for you. You fish for yourself. But what the TRI education programs do, and we had one student a few years ago articulate this beautifully. He said, Brian is going to teach you how to build your own fishing pole, and you'll have that skill to build your own fishing pole wherever you are for the rest of your life. And that fishing pole will let you enter any derby and you will win that derby. And the cool part about it is we have TRI site people and students that have gone through the program and they've gone and won trading competitions. And we have other site members I was detailing the other day. They're running their own advisory firms now. That's how powerful the TRI education platform is. So please don't interpret that you can just watch these little 10-15 minute snippets and be able to learn how to be a trader. I mean, the difference between the education program and watching these little sort of rhetoric videos is night and day. So I just wanted to get that perfectly clear for everybody. The TRI education program is really an investment in yourself. And frankly speaking, for the price point, we're giving this information away. It's just a question of, do you really want to make that investment in yourself? I know Kevin saying, well, you just did 15 minutes on that. So I guess we're done our video now today, eh? All right, enough rhetoric. The Duke of Albuquerque is reminding me that we have to get going on here. Thank you, sir. All right, so what are we going to look at today? I like to put together these little chart decks. Again, I'm telling you what I'm seeing in the market. I'm telling you what I'm doing with my money. I'm not giving you any advice. And if you want to learn how to do this, get your butt in the trade so that, or in the school program, so you can come on and do these videos and you can be an educated market participant. Okay, enough said. First and foremost, of course, we always start with US dollar index. We had some really interesting econs come out today, and I've actually included the Canadian dollar in here because I saw an econ that came out today that just knocked me off of my seat. I mean, frankly speaking, I was absolutely stunned by this. But, we're watching the jobs reports. Jobs reports out of the state came in relatively sanguine. They missed expectations by about 20,000 or so. But it was interesting if you dig apart the internals of the jobs report. The headline is meh. It's not like we're falling off a cliff. But at the same time, too, some of the internals actually looked a little bit more supportive. Average hourly earnings, that kind of stuff, a little bit higher. But then some other people made reference to the fact that a lot of the jobs that were created in the report were nothing more than just government jobs. And they'll disappear once things like the census is finished, and so the actual real print was actually lower. Having said that, like I said, I think Wall Street is sort of interpreting this as it's not too hot, not too cold, just sort of middle of the road. The number that really jumped out at me today, and I couldn't believe it when I saw this, Canadian stock market or Canadian economy is supposed to be about 10% the size of the U.S. economy. So if everything was normal, and you can see consensus and forecast, we're looking for about a 10% of the U.S. number. But the Canadian number came out today, 81,000 new jobs. So that means that in a U.S. equivalent, that would be like if you saw the U.S. non-farm payrolls come in at like 800,000 new jobs created. I mean, that is just a monstrously huge number. Now, you can see the previous month it was a negative print. And of course, these employment numbers are always subject to revisions. When I did a little bit more digging into this data, I also found out too that a lot of these jobs created were part-time jobs. Around the end of the summer, Canada has a lot of sort of, like seasonal labor around the Canadian national exhibitions and stuff like that. So how many of these jobs were directly related to that and they'll disappear at the end of the summer, I don't know. But that headline number just was like, wow, that is a monstrously huge number. So it doesn't surprise me that the Canadian dollar here, and that's why I've included it in this sort of study today. US dollar, we talked about it. Fractal came in, it fired. That fractal is now continuing to work. I don't see anything really startling coming out of the US dollar. I think, Brexit stuff. We could talk about it later on. Those bot setups got stopped out at trailing levels, so people made some money on those trades. But nonetheless, I think that the euro and the British pound are kind of calming down here a little bit. Japanese yen, risk on, risk off. I think that is sort of settling down a little bit here. Don't really see any like egregious moves out of the yen. But the market that really caught my attention today was the Canadian dollar. And if we just look at this chart, I mean, I got a funny feeling Canadian dollar is trying to do something here. We're getting W's within W's, and I mean, look at that W that just came in there. I mean, wow, what a level. That might even be a nice little bot that's probably projecting Canadian dollar back up into this area. Also, too, usually Canadian dollar follows along the path of oil. And I've been talking to you guys recently about how oil is starting to look a lot more uppy too. So, put it together, I guess that sort of validates what we're seeing out of the oil market, but that jobs number, Canadian economy is rocking and rolling here. So really interesting commentary there on good old Looney. And I'm running out of time here, so I'm not going to spend too much time going over a lot of this stuff, but long and short of it here, I've been talking with my audience about wanting to get some insurance on the books. I did like the idea of buying some put options on the U.S. stock market, but when we were down in these areas and the market just kept failing down here, poor trade location, and I was just like, oh man, when am I going to get the opportunity to get these puts on? So you can see the market is now finally starting to work up against the top end of its range. Our cycle thesis says that we should top somewhere around in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I have actually started to initiate buying some put options on the U.S. stock market. My first sort of justification, I think I've talked to you guys about this before on the public show, was gap fills. So I think that level's coming in. That's a justification for me to act. I'm interested in this AB equals CD, which is going to be nothing more than a test of the highs. That should get me to act. And then finally, does this bigger AB equals CD fire? And so I've put myself on just sort of like a dollar cost averaging program where I'm trying to get filled on my first put option order now. So just an FYI to the public, I am actually starting to initiate this, and I've got orders working. I'm a cheap ass by nature. I don't like to just market buy or sell. So I'm working my order at my level, and if I get a fill, then I'll be reporting it on the site. And I'll probably let you guys in the public know if I do get my fills here. For whatever it's worth, and we don't really have to go into too much detail about it, but do like the VCIM names. If I'm going to be playing the gold metals markets, I want to be in where the directors are long. And I noticed this is one of the ones that we bought last fall. It's perking up, trying to break to new highs. Didn't have any news out on this bad boy here. I was tickled pink to hear that a lot of our students got in off of this 9-10 cent level. Just make darn sure to have your open orders working for sell halves on doubles. Get yourself a risk-free position because this thing looks like it's about to pop here. So if you did participate in it, just make darn sure you got those orders working. Did notice yesterday, and I was really a little taken aback, but I think it makes a lot of sense. We do have a big sort of fundamental event coming up here in the pot industry. And I noticed that a lot of these pot names are starting to turn the corner and move higher. Really good learning information, people watching YouTube. This is what's called a key reversal. It's an engulfing bar where this bar actually engulfs at least the 2 previous sessions. This one actually engulfed the previous 6 session. Very, very powerful reversal signal. That's sort of that conversation of market structure at the end of your sort of process. Did I have location? Do I have signs of indicator confirmation? Do I get a divergence kind of idea? And then finally, you need some structure. And you notice that on this key reversal, maybe you didn't trade this one, but notice things like Canopy put in this beautiful little key reversal itself and a W. God damn, that's sexy. We have names. Some of our site members are really interested in this PYX. It dipped down into reload zones, interesting levels. The Chronos, yet another W that came in, beautiful reversal. And, if you just look at something like Canopy, I mean, you guys tell me, is there any room for this stock to move up and make you some money? If we just do just really simple trend lines just off of the top here, hopefully you can see, holy moly, there is a lot of room. If I just do a 50% retracement from the May peaks, That and risk against that W, that's a 6-to-1 risk reward. I mean, you got to take that trade every day of the week. So great to see a lot of TRI site members. Matt, you're kicking ass. Just keep on kicking ass, dude. You're rocking this thing. He's all over these pot stocks, just trading these setups that people learn through our education program. And you can clearly see they're rocking and rolling. Interesting catalyst, and I think the market needs catalysts to justify these rallies. Middle of October, the legislation in Canada is going to be passed, well, hopefully, for the edibles market, and I think that's one reason why a lot of these pot stocks are pivoting here. So speaking to that kind of thinking, and there is that fundamental event coming up. Speaking to that, one stock that I'm already long, so full disclosure, I'm not going to go buy it today, but I might even add to the trade because I love adding to winning trades. But this David's Tea, put in beautiful bottoms against the bottom end of ranges, cute little bots here to get you long. We've also bought the options in our TRI SOF club, but hopefully everybody can see this thing's trying to form a nice little bot here setup. You can see 1, 2, 3 trend line tags, broke the trend line. Can I get a W on the other side of the trend line? And notice there is the bot entry level. So I'm actually also seriously thinking about adding to this trade to try and play this bot setup into that fundamental event. All right, last thing we should talk about here today, of course, good old crypto. Bitcoin, really interesting level here. Unfortunately, I just don't have a trade set up here. As I've sort of told you recently, I do love playing trendline breakouts, but the problem for a guy like me is I need to see a W on the other side of this trend line now. And this, like you see, the pop up here and then crap out. I mean, I like the action, and in the daily brief today, we talked about how that right at that trend line is really interesting diamond pattern. But as you can see here, what I would prefer to see, and keep in mind, if this is a bull, I want to get in. But what I want to see now is I want to see the market come down, put in a W, ideally through sort of things like reload zones, and then break out on the other side of this W. And you can see as we're talking here, they're actually starting to take that rally back. Just blindly buying these trend line tags or even just the breakouts through the trend line, that can be really dangerous. So I must sound like a broken record. Please be careful here, people. In the daily brief today, I kept reiterating that really I think we're just sitting in a trading range. If you actually break the trading range down, you can see that we're actually just sitting in the bottom half of the trading range. We might actually have to come up and play around in the top half of this trading range for a while, which would validate that original AB equals CD that I was talking about weeks ago off of the clothesline basis, right there, boobity boo, boobity boo. Technically, that's still working. It's very difficult for me to get too bullish through this right now. I do like the idea of stabs up against the top end of the range. I think that's perfectly realistic. But if I'm going to play that, and I'm worried that we're basically bumping up against the top of Mr. Bollinger's kind of studies and stuff. But if I'm going to play this, what I really want to see is I want to see the market come back. Maybe let's even zoom out a little bit higher. Maybe an hour. Come back to the trend line, put in a W, and then break out. And then maybe I'll be a rah-rah bull. So just to finish off that thought, if this thing just ratchets higher, okay, fine. It's the way it goes. The market will do any old damn thing at once. It just means I don't have a trade set up through this. I will say that, where are we here? Darn. I had a cool Coinbase chart on here that actually summarized my thinking pretty well, but of course I've lost it. Damn. Yeah, sort of here. What I'm kind of worried about here with this move up right now is if we look at something like an hourly off of Coinbase, hopefully everybody can see this did not break out cleanly, right? So we've got higher highs here, and that's great. Rah, rah, we love higher highs. But at the same time, too, OBV did not break to new highs. MACD did not break to new highs. RSI did not break to new highs. And then, uh-oh, what the hell's that? That looks like an M. So be careful here, people. Like I said, let the trend line be broken, and then let's hunt for a W on the other side of this trend line, and then maybe we can start talking about things like bots and stuff. Now, to finish off today's conversation, I'll just simply add that I am playing crypto long right now, believe it or not, but I'm playing it a little differently. I'm actually in the, Jesus, she's coming off in a hurry here now. Somebody must have said something. But I'm playing crypto through a little bit of a different proxy, right? I'm playing crypto right now. Oh, what the hell did I do with the damn chart? Nope. What did I do with it? Fudge. Anyway, I was going to tell you that I'm playing crypto through a stock. But I can't find the damn stock, so I guess we'll just show it to you here. I bought this Riot, right? And I bought the W here. So we do have follow through, so that's good to see. We got confirmation. We also got confirmation of the doji gap bar, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. I am getting W's here. So in a weird sort of way, I'm actually playing the crypto market long at the moment through a stock like Riot blockchain. So keep that in mind. We'll finish the video at that today because I've gone way too long. So have yourselves a great day, everybody. I'll look forward to lots and lots of comments. If you want to be in the raffle, the next time I'm going to talk to you guys in the public will be the raffle day. So just make darn sure that if you want to be in the raffle, hit the like button, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff, and put in the comments so Kevin can see that you'd like to be part of the raffle. All right, Brian, shut up now. Have a great day, everybody. All the best, and bye for now.